y'all, it's Gina. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is all about Star Wars. I know. Weird me making a video about Star Wars. It's gonna be kind of chaotic. This is the third time I'm recording this. The first time I had my fan on. The second time I just didn't like how it turned out. So third time's a charm. It is gonna be a little bit chaotic. I do ramble quite a bit. There's a lot I want to talk about. I do have a list to try to keep me on track. It didn't help much the last time, so we'll see what happens. Basically, I just kind of like really gotten into Star Wars over the last 6 months, and I just really want to talk about it. And yeah, since I'm making videos again, it just kind of makes sense. I've kind of wanted to make this video for a few months now. I just haven't felt like filming. And now I'm filming, so we're making a Star Wars video. So let's hop into it, shall we? To start this video, I just kind of want to give a brief, it's not going to be brief, I talk a lot. I just kind of want to explain my relationship with Star Wars and why it took me so long to get into it and watch the movies. Cause yeah, I'm very stubborn, y'all. It can be a problem, and it was a problem with Star Wars because I don't like feeling forced to watch or read something, which is probably why I suck at buddy reads, because it feels forced and feels like homework, even though I know it's not. Anyway, this is about Star Wars. I just never watched them as a kid, and like people tried to make me watch them, and trying to make me watch them just didn't fly with me, so I didn't. I dug my heels in. I didn't watch. Someone tried getting me to watch it in high school, and we watched, I guess it was episode 4, since that's the first movie, and I distracted myself. I didn't pay attention. I did anything I could to not watch that movie, and you know, honestly, I was kind of being a brat about it, to be honest, but I was stubborn, and it was the fact that it was, no, you have to watch this, it's so good, that I didn't care for. So yeah, hoodie, sorry, chaotic. Anyway, so I never watched them. Another part of me not watching them is just that my parents aren't really into sci-fi fantasy, so they didn't watch them. Like, I think my mom said she watched 1 or 2 of them when she was a kid in theaters, but that was it. She's not a fan, and Dad's not a fan, so they just were never on in the house. So I never watched them. I also never watched the Lord of the Rings movies until recently, which I love those as well, but this video is about Star Wars. So yeah, it just wasn't a thing I was interested in. And it also really bothered me that movies 4, 5, and 6 were 1, 2, and 3. It breaks my brain. I still don't like it. Yeah. It bugs me. I did watch starting with 4, 5, 6, and then watched the prequels, because everyone says you gotta watch it in this order. You really don't. Stop forcing people to watch things the way you want them to watch them. I digress. Anyway, so that bothered me. That was a brain thing. I did watch them that way. On my rewatch recently, I did start with the prequels, and it made my brain feel much better starting with the prequels. I'll get to that in a moment. Anyway, that's kind of growing up with Star Wars. Like, I knew all the popular things and the references and the quotes that everyone gets wrong. Y'all, the line isn't, Luke, I am your father. It's not. Stop. It's not correct. Yeah. Anyway, about 2-ish years ago, I watched all of the movies for the first time. I saw trailers for the new ones, and they looked fun, so I wanted to watch them. I know. Trust me. I hear it a lot about how the new ones suck, but I liked them. And a lot of it has to do with I didn't have the nostalgia for the old ones, and I didn't know enough. I am rewatching them, so probably should have finished that rewatch before making this video, but that didn't happen. My thoughts might change, but as of an initial watch, not being a big fan and not understanding things, I did enjoy them. I know. So yeah, that's really why I started watching them and why I wanted to. I just had to get there. It had to be me. I had to want it. It had to not be somebody forcing me to watch them. So about 2 years ago, I borrowed all the movies from a friend and I watched them, and like, they were fine. I wasn't in love with them like a lot of people are, and I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that it is such a loved series that it is overhyped. It is, I'm sorry, but it is. Like, so is Harry Potter and everything. Like, everything that's popular is overhyped. Like, it's just, it is. And I had issues with things like the fact that the line is quoted wrong, and also the fact that the do or do not, there is no try line. I was expecting to be part of this like big epic moment because everyone like makes such a big deal out of it, and it happens because Luke is being a brat, not wanting to try to get his ship out of the swamp. Yeah, I don't really like Luke. Sorry, I get yelled at by people by saying that, but you know, it's a thing. I like the prequels more. I do, I really do. It's I can't even really put into words why. I do have a full detailed review on Letterboxd that I will link in the description if you want to check that out. It kind of explains why. A lot of it is that I don't have the nostalgia for the originals. I don't have the love for the originals, and it's just, watching them for the first time as an adult is a weird and wild ride, let me tell you. People keep telling me my opinion is wrong, and like, it's my opinion, you know? Like, it is what it is, and I can explain why it is what it is, and some people are patient and understand. They might not get it, but they accept it because it's my opinion. And I think that's another reason why it took me so long to get into it. Like, even now, I watched them 2 years ago, and I'm just now like getting really into it because people, and I say people, but like really it's friends that just weren't patient with me or judged me for my opinion and for liking episode 1. And it's like, I get it, it's hated, but I enjoy it. Like, the Speed Racers, that was fun. It reminds me of Fast and the Furious. And again, I don't have the nostalgia or the love for the originals. Like, it just, the prequels get too much hate. I'm saying it. The prequels get too much hate, and I don't think they deserve it because they're good. They're fun. The lore is fun, and especially when you get into the Clone Wars stuff and start getting all this extra stuff that we have, like the Clone Wars series, the 2D Clone Wars, Bad Batch. It's just, it's a lot of fun, and I love it, which is weird to me. It's so weird to me making this video and being a Star Wars fan. So that's kind of the intro-ish of where I was at with Star Wars when I watched the movies. And yeah, the last 6 months or so, I've gotten really into it, and honestly, a lot of it has to do with my friend Kev. Kev has been patient. Kev has answered all my stupid questions. Kev might have been a little judgy when I forgot that Anakin was Darth Vader. Oops. But they were still patient with me and answered my dumb questions like, oh wait, Anakin is Darth Vader, right? Thanks for being patient, Kev. Thanks a lot. And honestly, I don't think I'd be as much of a fan if it weren't for Kev, for answering my questions and talking me into watching the Clone Wars earlier than I probably would have watched it. Like, it was on my list to watch, I just hadn't gotten to it. And the Bad Batch started, and I was talking to Kev, and they were like, hey, you don't understand what's happening, do you? And I was like, nope, but it's fun. And so they were like, watch the Clone Wars. So I did, and I started watching it, and stuff started making more sense. Characters started making more sense. And watching the Clone Wars is when I realized that I had forgotten a lot of what happened in the movies, because I didn't remember who people were, like Darth Vader. So that's kind of why I rewatched the movies. I've recently rewatched the prequels, and then Kev and I rewatched the original ones, and I can say I still enjoy the prequels more, kind of, but the original ones are fine. I don't like Luke, and there's some things that bother me still, but I did like them a lot more on my rewatch than I did initially, so that's good, because I knew what to expect going in this time. And like I said, I'm working on the rewatch of the new ones as well. My opinions might change with those now that I understand the lore better and I understand why people hate them so much. Yeah. So we'll see. Maybe I'll make a follow-up video about those specifically and my thoughts. But for now, I did enjoy them. I know that's an unpopular opinion, but it is my opinion, so yeah. And the other stuff that has gotten me into Star Wars as much as it has, like I said, has been Kev. Kev has shown me Star Wars comics in audio format on YouTube, which are super fun to watch, and they're comics, so I get to add them to Goodreads, y'all. I might hit 100 books after all. We have also watched the 2D Clone Wars, which was fantastic. I love it. It's fun. I've watched it twice now. Like, I rewatched it not too long ago. And it's just, the stories are a lot of fun. Like, I know they're not canon anymore. I guess they were canon at some point, but they're a lot of fun. And Clone Wars era stuff is great, and I love it, and it might be my favorite, and yes, that is quite possibly because it's Kev's favorite and that's what they keep showing me and feeding me stuff, but it's a lot of fun. And you know, it really makes sense since I like the prequels better than the original movies anyway, so like it just makes sense that I enjoy it. This whole Star Wars journey has been weird, but I like it. I like it. Yeah, I've never thought I'd be here. I love The Mandalorian. Case in point, Baby Yoda. And I do have Mando and Baby Yoda Legos as well. I do love The Mandalorian, and that's another reason why I wanted to watch the movies, because I felt I didn't want to start watching Star Wars content without having seen the movies. So that's another reason why I wanted to watch it, because I did want to watch The Mandalorian, because it looked good. It looked fun. And it is. I love it. And then Bad Batch, which I was planning on watching anyway. And then Kev talked me into watching The Clone Wars, which again, I was planning on watching anyway. So like, chances are I would have gotten here eventually. Maybe. I don't know, because anytime I ask friends questions, I get judged, or I don't know. People are weird when you ask weird questions. But Kev has answered all my really weird questions to the best of their ability. There are some things that they haven't known that I've had to like look up myself, and some stuff there isn't answers to, and it's just been a lot of fun. So the kind of, Visions. Before I get into the last bit that I want to talk about, Visions, that just recently came out, phenomenal. I love it. All 9 episodes are great. I believe episode 1 is my favorite. The story, the art, the lightsabers, it's so cool. Episode 1 was fantastic. I loved it. And I want to say The Ninth Jedi might be my number 2. I need to rewatch them all so that I can get like a proper ranking and like feels for them, but it's pretty fantastic. So yeah, that's pretty much all of the like main Star Warsy stuff that I want to talk about. The last bit that I want to talk about and just really gush about, I could honestly film a whole video just talking about it, but it's getting tacked onto this, so it's gonna be kind of a long video, is Kev's Star Wars Clone Wars D&D 5e campaign that they run on Twitch on Wednesday nights, Revenge of the Crit. I love it so much. If you guys are into D&D and the Clone Wars era stuff, even a little bit, you should check out their campaign. It is phenomenal. It is amazing. It is full of feels and adventure and story and fun, and it's just, I love it so much. Like I said, they run this campaign on Wednesday nights on Twitch. I will link their Twitch channel in the description below, as well as their YouTube channel where you can find all of the VODs. I have watched all of the VODs and all of the backlogged episodes. It was a lot of episodes. It took me 2 months, and it would have taken me longer had I not been able to listen at work. Yeah, because they're long, because it's D&D, and it's fantastic. So as I mentioned, it is set in Clone Wars era time. Currently, where they are now in the story is about 2.5 months or so into the Clone Wars. So there's a lot to go. They will probably be doing this campaign for a while, and I'm so here for it. I love it. I love it. It's just weird how into a Star Wars thing I am, but I love it. So basically, Kev and I were talking about Star Wars and Bad Batch, and they got me into the Clone Wars, and they were like, hey, I run this Clone Wars 5e campaign, you should check it out. So I did, and the first episode that I watched, completely confused. I didn't know what was happening. I think I tuned in during the last episode of an arc before they got to like the in-between of a new arc, so I didn't know what was happening. There was a recap, which was nice, and it was interesting, but like I didn't get it. And I stopped watching like maybe an hour in to go play Among Us. And I believe I went back and rewatched what I missed. I know I eventually watched the whole episode when I was watching the VODs on YouTube, but I'm pretty sure I went back and watched what I missed like the next day. And it was interesting. Again, I didn't know what was happening or understand things. Luckily, Kev was able to answer questions I had, but again, I didn't know. So the following week I tuned in, and I want to say that was the start of a new arc, and I loved it. I got hooked. I was hooked in, like, within that second episode of watching, and it was after that episode that I decided to go back and start watching from the beginning, just so that way I could kind of know who these characters were a little bit more and get a feel for the players and the story. And it's fantastic. It really is. They have gone through a few different players. The early episodes, there are a couple people that are no longer playing right now, and there are new people playing, and just all of them have been fantastic. There's this character in the first like 20 or so episodes, Aloe. I love her so much. I'm pretty sure I sent Kev a text at least twice an episode when I was listening, just saying, "Aw, Aloe," and then I'd have to explain what I was all aloeing about, because she's just so fun. I love her so much. She is chaotic, and she collects lightsabers, and she wants to pet everything, and I just love her. I love her so much. She's great. But their current cast of players is also fantastic and amazing, and there's so much drama right now. So much, and they're so good at it. They're so good at the feels. I've cried, I've laughed, I've felt all the feels weekly, and it's just, oh, it's so good. So as I mentioned, Kevin Kudo is the DM for this campaign, and then their cast of players, which is fantastic. You have Kappa, who plays Soren, the shooty blue boy, and Soren is kind of the comedic timing. He has has a way with lightening the mood when things get a little intense, and things have been intense, especially for Soren lately, and it's oof. Things have gotten intense over the last few episodes. And then there's Tati, who plays Raziel, and Raziel is the angsty teen who used to fight with Maul, and now he's with this team of good guys, and his lightsaber has changed and is now purple, which is great. And Raz is just a really fun character, and they all are. And then you have Jinkles, who plays Shiri Ven, the kind of mama figure of the group. She's Mama Shiri Ven, and she kind of takes care of everybody and kind of takes on the burden of all of their drama, even though she has it as well. And she's also kind of a badass, and she puts dents into Kev's plans all the time. They all do, and it's great because Kev doesn't expect it. Kev should expect it. Expect the unexpected. And it's just, they're all fantastic. They're all fantastic. And then the last player is Chase, who plays Viper, the clone of the group. And Viper has some of my favorite moments of the campaign. Like, there was a moment where the roles just were perfect for the story. I want to say it's in episode 40 while they're on Mandalore. He's trying to be sneaky and run off and not tell Raz where he's going, and he's like, oh, I broke my communicator, and then rolled a nat 1. So he actually did like break his communicator, and then to roll the damage for that, he rolled a nat 20, so it just like shattered. It was so great. The rolls were just, oh my god, I loved it. It was fantastic. It was probably my favorite moment. One of my favorite moments. And just Viper and Raz's relationship, like, they're brothers and they love each other. They all love each other, and it's just again, the feels and the love that everyone has for each other is fantastic. It's amazing, and quite honestly, probably more often than not the highlight of my Wednesday. So definitely check out Kev's campaign, Revenge of the Crit, Wednesdays on Twitch at 7 Central, 8 Eastern, 5 PST. It's a fun time. It's just definitely check it out. It is fantastic. Again, I could talk for so long about them and their campaign and the players, and just I love it so much, so much. Kev, I know I tell you quite often how good it is, but like, it is really so good. I'm so invested and hooked that I love it. I can't wait to find out what happens next. Again, a lot of intense things are happening. Viper's about to go through some intense stuff. Oh man. Oh, I can't wait to find out what happens. It's gonna be good. It is gonna be good. So yeah, that is kind of all I have for this video, kind of where I'm at with Star Wars, and also gushing about my friend's campaign because it's great. Again, I want to shout out to my friend Kev, Kevin Kudo, who I've been raving about their campaign. I don't think I'd be here in my Star Wars journey without you, because you have told me about lore and explained things that people refuse to explain to me, and you're patient with me and my stupid questions, and you didn't judge me too hard when I forgot that Vader was Anakin. You didn't judge me too hard when I explained, oh, did I mention in this recording? At one point in time I thought Jar Jar Binks was an Ewok? Yeah, it's a thing that happened. It was hilarious. Whoops. So yeah, that's kind of my relationship with Star Wars, and like, I love it. I never thought I'd be here, but I love it. So that is all I have for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my weird, chaotic tale of how I'm a Star Wars fan now. Yeah. Again, thank you for watching. I will see you guys next time. Bye.